All right, let's talk about something every nursing student knows all too well, the struggle. We're going to crack the code on some study strategies that are seriously designed to help you not just survive, but actually thrive in nursing school. Let's dive in. Does this feel familiar? Yeah, that feeling of literally drowning in a sea of textbooks, drug names, and super complex diagrams. You're juggling pathophysiology, pharmacology, patient assessments. I mean, it just never stops, right? Well, first off, you are so not alone in feeling this way. And here's a thought I want you to consider. What if the problem isn't you? What if it's just the tools in your study toolkit? Maybe there's a smarter, not just harder, way to learn all this stuff. So, where do we start? It all comes down to this: unlocking your visual brain. Because how you visualize information is the real key to making it stick. Okay, we hear the term visual learner all the time. It means you process info best when you can see it. Simple enough. But, and this is the really important part, not all visual learners are created equal. Not even close. This is where it gets really interesting, because it basically splits into two camps. On one side, you have visual linguistic learners. These are the folks who love words and text. On the other, you've got visual spatial learners who need to see pictures, patterns, the whole big picture. As we go through this, think about it. Which one sounds more like you? All right, let's jump into our first toolkit. This one is for all you word lovers out there, the visual linguistic learners. So who is this person? You're someone who thrives on written information. You love reading, you love writing, and you really get things when you see words laid out in a structured, linear way. Your notes are probably immaculate. So what are your power tools? It's pretty much anything that lets you get hands-on with text. We're talking about taking super detailed notes, creating structured outlines, using good old-fashioned text-based flashcards, and even just the simple act of rewriting your notes. And look, building an outline that works for heavy nursing content is a real skill. Here's how you do it. 1. Identify your main topic. 2. List key concepts as your subheadings. 3. Then you just add all those supporting details under each one. And 4. Use numbers and indents to keep it all clean and clear. That structure is absolute gold for your brain. Now, what about flashcards? Here's a perfect example. You've got the drug, digoxin. What it does: increases contractility, slows heart rate. And the critical nursing stuff: monitor for bradycardia and signs of toxicity. It's concise, practical, it has everything you need. That's the goal. Okay, but what if all those lists and long outlines just make your eyes glaze over? If that's you, then get ready, because this next toolkit is gonna be your jam. Let's talk to the picture thinkers. If you're a visual spatial learner, you are a big picture thinker, through and through. You learn by seeing relationships and patterns. Isolated facts just don't cut it for you. You have to see how idea A connects to idea B, which is why charts, diagrams, and images are your best friends. So your toolkit is much more dynamic. We're talking about creating things like mind maps and concept maps, actually drawing out diagrams and flowcharts, and using color coding systems, not just for fun, but as a real learning strategy. Watching videos and picturing information in your head also works wonders. Let's see this in action. Take congestive heart failure. You put that main idea right in the middle of your page. Then you start drawing branches. One for pathophysiology, another for symptoms like edema. And coming off that branch, you can add smaller branches for nursing interventions, like daily weights. It becomes a web that shows you exactly how everything is connected. And please, don't sleep on color coding. This can be your superpower. Assign a color to each major theme. Maybe pathophysiology is always red. Pharmacology is always blue. Patient assessment is orange. Do this across all your notes, and suddenly you can see patterns and connections just by scanning the page. The biggest takeaway here is to make your learning active. When you're studying the heart, don't just read about the flow of blood. Get out a piece of paper and actually draw it. Sketch the blood coming into the atria, going to the ventricles. That physical act of creating it yourself is what's going to cement it in your memory. So there you have it. Two powerful, but very different toolkits. The real magic happens when you figure out how to combine. Which brings us to the final and most important step: taking all of this and building a strategy that is perfect for you. I really want this to sink in. There is no single right way to study. The most effective method is the one that works for you.
What's a lifesaver for your classmate might be a total waste of time for you. This is all about personalizing your approach.
So here's your mission, should you choose to accept it. This week, try at least one new strategy. If you're an outliner, try drawing a concept map. Or even better, combine them. Why not try a color-coded outline? The goal is to shift from just passively listening in lectures to actively learning and discovering what really makes this stuff stick. So I'll leave you with this question. Think about that next big exam, that topic you're kinda dreading. Which new tool from these toolkits will you use to finally master it? Find what works for you. You've got this.